All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sooner Surge at 6 tonight. Before we get started, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. If you have not, hit the subscribe button so you'll be updated daily as we produce our daily content now. We've been doing this, trying to do it every single day of the year. So please hit subscribe. Please comment on these videos. We love the comments. So let's get started with our topic today. You know, softball's over with, guys. Next big sport for OU is football around the corner. We have basically 12 more Saturdays. I don't know if you knew that, Jaron, but 12 Saturdays till the opening game, which is crazy to believe that it's that close, and it will be here before you know it. But kind of wanted to get your thoughts, and then some of our listeners can comment on the new rule change. One of the big rule changes for college football this year is the first downs and the clock not stopping after a first down in college football. Now, you know, a lot of the sports have done rule changes to speed up the game. So just your thoughts about that rule change where now, I think it's, unless it's 2 minutes left in the half, every first down, the clock continues to run. There's no stoppage.
Yeah, I know that as they proposed this rule and now have voted this rule in, they're hoping to get the same type of response and reaction from the fans that they got with baseball. It seems like many fans enjoyed that. I'm not sure that that's going to be the same with football because just baseball was a little slower game and, you know, definitely needed to speed that up. But I also think there's also a different kind of motive here. And it's, if you read some of the stuff when they put this out, it's also about safety of individual players. They're hoping to cut down on many plays. Actually, I read a stat where it would be about 96 plays for each person. It would cut down throughout the year because of how many plays that there would be lessened per game. So I know that's one of the reasons.
I think that's a weak. I think
that's
weak. I think that's kind of a weak.
Yeah, but Jay, everything's moving towards safety.
No, I understand the reasoning, but I don't think that really affects the safety. That's just me. I mean, taking a few plays off throughout the year, I don't think is going to really. I mean, I can see probably how they're going to stat wise that and say that it's going to help safety, but I don't know. I just don't think. I think in baseball, if you ask the viewers of games, either on TV or in person, they would say at first they didn't like the rule change. I think a lot of them now are okay with it, right? And I may be wrong on that, but I think in football, I don't think people are looking for the game to be sped up. I think people love football so much that, I don't know, me personally, I'm not looking for it to be sped up. But I do like the fact that this rule kind of isn't helping the offense out, which a lot of rules they've done lately, it seems to always help the offense. I think always give advantages to the offense. And I think this is giving a little bit more advantage to the defense just because they can't. The clock stops. I mean, the clock doesn't stop. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? As far as
I am glad that they kept the last 2 minutes where the clock stops. You have to do that. You can't change it to that point. But I'm with you, Jay, on as far as speeding up the game of football. It doesn't necessarily. I don't see that it's something that needs to be sped up because not every team is playing. Throwing 50 times a game either. You know, some teams are running the ball more, so it's not really changing. Those games are already pretty fast. So I'm with you. I don't think it needs to be sped up. I'm curious if we're going to even notice a difference on this. I think we will, especially with the teams that like to run, 90 to 100 plays a game. You're going to notice, and you may not notice it each week, but as you start looking at the stats throughout the year, you're going to say, wow, they have run quite a few or lesser plays here in the season that we're going to be able to tell.
Yeah, and because you're saying fewer plays because the clock's going to be running, but there are teams that I mean, let's just talk about OU. I mean, OU is a team that they play that hurry up, really fast offense. Levy loves to run that. So the difference this year will be they can still run fast. It's just you can't hike it without anything being taken off the clock like you could. Basically, you could get set up for the referee when he says go, you could go. The clock's going to be running continually. So you can still go super fast. It's just you won't have that. Basically, you can't go right when the ref gets ready for the ball to be snapped.
And if you notice, they did hint that this is the beginning of several rule changes that will probably take place in the next few years. One that I foresee happening in the very near future, and I'd love to hear our listeners' thoughts on this, but I don't think we are very far off from seeing kickoffs being abolished in the league. I think we're going to see teams just start on the 20 to 25 yard line.
Did you watch the XFL at all this year?
No.
Theirs was pretty interesting, and I don't think it would be a bad idea for college to do it. It was, if I remember right, I don't know the exact. I have to look this up, but basically the team kicking off is already within, like, I want to say 20 or 30 yards of the kick returner, so they're not that full speed. You know what I mean? And it's a little hybrid thing as far as that. It's not a full kickoff. I don't know how to explain it. I'd have to look it up, like you said. But
that might be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever change it or not. I mean, like you said, they're always looking to change for safety, which I do understand. That with injuries, that you have to do that moving forward. I understand that. I just think the ones that they're doing to shorten the game and make it quicker, I don't like. Now, baseball, I should preface that, because I did like baseball, but I think that's different, because in between the bats, the batter was really things that didn't need to be done, doing your gloves or whatever. I think a lot of that was just slowing it down.
Well, I would be, as OU fans here, and our viewers are OU fans, we will only be in the Big 12 one more season. So that's already going to speed the game up, because the amount of replays that are happening in the Big 12 is unbelievable. So once you get out of there, the game will be sped up, and it should be natural on that. I'm not saying they should remove replay, because if they did that, there'd be people irate, because there'd be calls that change games, and you wouldn't be able to review them. But how many replays last year did we see the replay officials, the referees go to the middle of the field and call for a replay, and you're just sitting there thinking, what are we reviewing here? And it was 5 to 7 minutes long.
Yeah, the Big 12 seemed to be one of the worst conferences at that as well. And that's why I love the baseball and softball reviews are like this. I mean, they get on there, and it's most of the time it's pretty quick. But football seemed to take forever. And then you have the Texas Tech game where on the field goal that they review it, and it still doesn't go your way. And you're like, what was the point of that 10-minute review? You still didn't get it right. I don't know. So yeah. But
go ahead.
No, you go ahead, man.
I was just going to say, I think it's just going to be interesting what they do from here. But you're right. We got 12 Saturdays until college football is upon us. Super excited about that. Super excited to get into some of the workouts with OU and the players there, and see what's happening down there as we get closer to the season beginning, and see what they've done in the weight room as we move forward. But yeah, talking about speeding the game up. One way you can speed up seeing our content, though, is by subscribing. Make sure you subscribe, and you'll be notified as soon as we post daily content. Till next time, guys.
Yeah, leave a comment, please, on whether you like that rule change, and if there's any other rules you'd like to see changed in college football. Love to hear your thoughts. Boomer.